take one last look at Bombay before we draw our visit to a close. To the observing tourist, this view is more than just a picture. It is Bombay, the gateway to India. Through it flows the commerce of an empire. Great commercial houses, stately public buildings, and educational institutions flank its broad thoroughfares. Railways converge here from every state in India, and steamship routes diverge to the ends of the earth.
1947 was the first I had seen or heard of Ramana Maharshi. And as I said, I had always wanted to go to India, and I was searching for a guru, but I stopped here and there and every place, and finally I ended up at Sri Aurobindo's at Pondicherry. And someone says, I think you might be looking for Ramana Maharshi in Tiruvannamalai. I said, okay, so I took one of these wonderful buses. And while I was riding on the bus, I'd sort of in a state of reverie, and there appeared to me this beautiful face with these big, luminous eyes that look right through you. And so when I got to Ramana Maharshi, there was the same picture, the same face that I had seen in my state of reverie. And I was really, really shocked. So I figured, well, here's where I'm going to unpack my one little bag and spend the rest of my life. When I sat in the Maharshi's presence, I felt that I was in a great white light. And then it seemed that within me, all these so-called problems I thought I had, they just vanish. And you went through a cleansing process, and I think to myself, what was I so concerned about? It doesn't really matter. Nothing matters, but who am I? Who is this? What is this presence, this entity, what have you call it? When I have questions, I don't ask him anything verbally because it isn't necessary. The questions that you ask are answered almost immediately, so that it's a mind-to-mind connection rather than verbal, because speech just gets in your way. And so I would feel, as the days go by, I would feel these questions being answered, and it would just be a slow cleansing of my entire being. He must have been suffering. And yet all during his illness, those eyes just never lost their luminosity. And it's as though Bhagwan's body and his essence were two separate. And so he just ignored the body. To try to describe the presence of Ramana Maharshi in words is very, very difficult, because you feel his presence, you feel his luminosity, you feel his greatness. You feel that the whole world is there. He is trying to impart the entire world to you and the reality of who you really are. And you just sit there awed by the light in his eyes and his being. It's just as though someone had turned on a bright light, and there is this person with a beautiful aura. The whole body as though it were transformed into light.